Hello, everyone, and I'm Christina Giordano, the founder of Sold, your go-to resource for soulful entrepreneurship. And my philosophy is this: people can no longer be sold to, they must be sold to. This is selling with soul. This is marketing with integrity, where you no longer need to compromise your authenticity, your boundaries, your uniqueness, your wholeness. This is messaging in a way that actually reflects the transformation you provide because it's your story, your transformation, and nobody can compete with that. This is monetizing yourself in a way that honors your fullness, all of the pieces and parts of you that are meant to be divinely resourced. Join me every Wednesday to learn all of this and more. Let's jump right in. Today's episode is called The Juice, the one thing that your marketing strategy needs. In last week's episode, I quickly mentioned the juice as it relates to your passions, and I want to elaborate on this today. What is the juice? The juice is the energy that something gives us. It's the life force of it. It's the fuel. It's the thing that makes us come alive. It's the things that make us come alive. There's something about them that just fills you up. When you're really excited and amped up to talk about something, you've got the juices flowing. When you've got something on your mind that you absolutely love thinking about to the point where it gives you chills, you've got the juices flowing. When you're in a state of flow and feeling like you could do whatever it is that you're doing forever, you've got the juices flowing. It's the hallmark of something called creation energy. Now, what am I talking about here? Creation energy is the juice of manifestation. It's what's required. It's what it is. It's what you need in order to manifest. Now, let me begin talking about the juice from the lens of my personal life. If you've been listening lately, and if you've listened to episode 17, you know that I went through a pretty rough fourth quarter of 2024 when I was separating from my now ex-husband. It was a turbulent time, but due to reasons I talk about within that specific episode, it was absolutely essential. At a certain point in my marriage, and quite early on, I might add, I was putting a lot of my energy towards stabilizing and managing and maintaining someone else. This was while I was also having and raising children and taking care of a household on my own and trying to run a business of my own. And so my energy was essentially leaking all over the place. I was being drained and depleted. And if you're listening and you're catching on to what I'm saying, if you've been where I've been, if you understand the drain of having to regulate another, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, on one hand, I was focused on everyone but me. And on the other hand, I wasn't doing anything that gave me the juice. So my juice was essentially drying up. I was dead inside. I barely had a pulse. There was nothing that was making me come alive. Now, this was also apparent in my professional life too. The type of work that I was doing for my clients wasn't fully aligned. It wasn't what I truly wanted to do. My heart wasn't in it, it wasn't giving me the juice. And so over time, my business evolved until where it is today, which is a place that more accurately reflects who I am and what I stand for and how I want to serve and give my gift. But during this personal and professional crisis, I started to incorporate more of the things that I loved into my life because at a certain point, I started to realize that I was losing myself. I was losing myself. So in my personal life, I began to incorporate my spiritual practices, so breath work, walks in nature, working out, etc., into my daily life, among other things that I enjoy doing. And within my business, I channeled my marketing methods, the life method, the soul method, and the love method, and created various offerings featuring these methods. Fortunately, as a result of my efforts, my juice didn't dry up entirely. In fact, it was trying to turn all the way on, but it couldn't, which led to the making of episode 17. And in that episode, I also talk about what has come out of that turbulent time. And if I were to sum it up, it can be summed up as I came back to life again. I have a newfound excitement for life again. My business is going gangbusters. Like I, it's kind of crazy because the amount of efforting that I used to have to do in order to make a buck is nothing like the amount of effort that I have to put in now, which is it's not the bare minimum, but it's enough to where I feel like it's enough. I'm trusting that it's enough. I'm trusting that I'm using enough of my own energy to get this thing going. But also it's amped up now because I love it now, because I'm so aligned to it now, because I'm coming alive with it now. And so that's the business side. My body quite literally feels like it's aging backwards and becoming stronger, and I'm feeling better than ever. I check, I look in the mirror every day and I'm like, okay, this is different. I wonder what's going on here. But um, it's really the energy kind of settling in, the juice kind of settling in. And I don't know, you look at people who, well, let's look at this. Let's look at people who are really unhealthy, but not in what they do for their body. So I'm not talking about like nutrition wise, diet wise, exercise or anything like that. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about health in terms of mental health, emotional health, spiritual health. You know, the things that really matter in the way that we age. And if you think about somebody who is essentially depleted, you can tell they're depleted just by looking at them. And then you look at someone who is full of life, who is full of vitality. Um, it's a different kind of look. And I'm sure if you're listening, you know what I'm talking about when you see someone who's fully in their aliveness. There's something about them, there's a spark within them. The spark is the juice. So hopefully that conveys a better visual of what the juice can do, because I mean, the business side is one thing. The way that it affects you from an actual physical perspective is a whole it's a whole other thing. And finally, because of the juice, I'm attracting people into my life that are lighting me up and making me feel seen and heard and understood. And again, all of this is happening without much effort on my part. And why is that? Because the juice makes us magnetic. I'll say it again. The juice is what makes us magnetic. Think about those people who you've seen who are so full of their own vitality, their own life force energy. The spark of life is within them. It's like that. What do they call it? The joie de vivre. um, that's within them. And it's like just lighting them up, and you can see it from the inside out. Those people are magnetic to such a degree that they can think of something and it will appear to them. Now there's more to this, and I'm going to get into more of this. It's not just the juice. The juice needs to be focused. So let's continue on. But I want you to look at it this way. If being in a state of overflow, which is what people say that you need to be in order to experience overflow in your reality, if being in a state of overflow helps you live in overflow and therefore see overflow in your reality, then why wouldn't we prioritize the juice? Why wouldn't we? That's how we fill ourselves up. The juice quite literally fills us to the point of overflow. I mean, you could picture yourself as a vessel, as a sacred vessel, this is how I kind of position it in the money methods. If you picture yourself as a sacred vessel and you think about what life has done to your vessel, all the cracks and the holes and all of the things that are a result of just living, that are it's just kind of um what do you call it? Oh, what's that word? I don't remember the word, but it's oh, the occupational hazard of living. If you think about it that way, you think of your vessel and you think about, you have these cracks and you're leaking energy. You're actually quite literally leaking your juices when you don't have strong boundaries, when again, the vessel needs to be contained. When you're taking care of other people who aren't in their own power, when you're relying more on the outside of you rather than on the inside of you, inside of your vessel. These are all things that um, create leaks and cracks and holes in our vessels. And the way we pull them up, of course, is check ourselves, like make sure that we actually are contained within ourselves. We patch up those boundaries. We patch up, we stop leaking energy for others. We turn off the drain, which is what I had to do, which led to episode 17. Um, and we contain so we contain ourselves so that the juices can flow more effectively and more efficiently. But here's the thing: the manifestation gurus of the world, and pretty much everything that is written about manifestation, focus mostly on the mind, on the thinking of manifesting. There's a lot of focus on our focus, where you're directing your headspace energy, which, by the way, is important. It's definitely important. But you have other centers in your body that enable creation energy that don't include your headspace, your mind, or your intuition. Can you guess what they are? And I will give you a few hints, don't worry. Where do you feel the radiating sensation? Where you feel your heart centeredness simply blossoming out of you? You feel it in your heart, right? This is a creation energy region. Where do you feel that gut instinct sensation? I'm guessing you feel it in your gut. That one is pretty obvious. This is your power center, your solar chakra. And this is also a creation energy region. Now, here's another one that is also pretty obvious. Where do you feel the turn on sensation? I'm guessing you feel it in your sacral area, the area that encompasses your sexual organs. So that's your womb space for women, which is synonymous with the prostate for men. This is a creation energy region. Manifestation is not and cannot be all about the mind. It is a full body experience that requires full body alignment. And the creation energy regions listed that I've just listed, it's not all of them. Think about your root chakra, the primal animal part of us that longs to belong. Think about your throat chakra, your zone of communication and expression. Manifestation is a full body alignment and embodiment that gets turned on and turned up by the juice. So, how do we apply this kind of juice in our businesses? Well, let me tell you, when you do apply the juice, you're no longer creating from fear and ego. Oh, I'm scared that I need more money. You're no longer creating from a societal expectation of this is the service, the industry, the box that I'm in. I'm going to put myself in here. You're no longer creating from a wounded or conditioned framework of what's possible for you. You're creating from your soul's truth, your true self, what you're dying to express and experience in this life. You're creating from that place. You're creating quite literally with the creator. You are wielding creation energy. What do you think happens when you start marketing from that place? I'll let you think about that for a minute. In my work, I help you find the juice in your marketing, particularly your messaging, because to me, honestly, that's where the magic happens. This is the actual transformation you provide. This is the thing about your business that you love. It's your passion. It gives you energy. You could do it all day. It makes you feel alive because you come alive. And the people who work with you come alive too. It's the juice. It's the force behind everything. I help you define the juice, and we do that through my marketing methods. Excuse me. Now, there are multiple ways you can work with the marketing methods. Let's talk about one way that is available on a monthly basis, and that's my group marketing workshop series. Now, my intention for this workshop series is that each and every attendee will walk away with messaging that is authentically aligned to their purpose, a marketing strategy that they can get excited about, and the confidence and conviction to show up for it. We nail down the juice. And once we do that, you'll finally feel like you've got a marketing strategy you can get behind. Now, the first workshop is about the life method, giving us the aligned words and phrases based on the transformation you provide so that you can speak the language of your ideal clients. There is no ideal customer avatar exercise here. I don't touch those because, believe it or not, you know your ideal customer so well They basically were you at one point. The second workshop is all about the soul method, giving us the clarity around the transformation you provide. We connect the dots from where you were to where you are now so that one, it's crystal clear to your clients what you can do for them. And two, you have so much conviction in your purpose and how your soul path and career path just collide. Because this is messaging focused, this method, we also create what I like to call belief shifting objectives, talking points, and content ideas that light you up, aka the juice, so that you can show up for your marketing with more impact. The third session is about the love method, giving us the action steps required within your marketing so that you have a clear, precise, and consistent approach to marketing yourself. This is essentially the nuts and bolts of your strategy, but it's loaded with your unique approach to how you want to, as I say, show up, be seen, and shine. The aligned action that comes from this method will keep the juices flowing. Throughout all three of these sessions, I will provide direction and sprinkle my own insights and knowledge into your strategy. And we will also work through a workbook together that includes extra plug and play templates for you to use ongoing. Finally, you get lifetime access to my self-study program, The Main Marketing Methods. Here's the point to all of this. I help you get the juice out of your business. I help you find it, tap into it, and make it a well of nonstop creative energy so that you can finally build momentum and make a difference. Once you get the juice flowing from that, the rest just flows into overflow. I hope you enjoyed the episode today. Until next time, be well and take care.